So, more gushing from my meeting yesterday with my twin flame, but something that I learned. We were talking about something, I don't even remember what it was. And the point was so obvious to me that I didn't say anything about it. Like the base, there's like a basic truth to things at the very base level, at the God level. And he was making a point, and the point was so obvious that it didn't even cross my mind that I had to say something about that point. And then I started, and I don't even remember what it was. I wish I did, but it's one of those things that are like the patterns of the universe. And so I didn't say anything about the point, but I went on a smaller point, like one of the circuits that come out from the obvious point, an additional effect, like the butterfly effect, how it affects one thing and then that one thing affects things that come out of it. So I was talking about one of those little effects. And he looked at me and said, "Yeah, but this and this and this." He was talking about the big effect. And I said, "I know that. That's the obvious point. But here's something that I learned is that many times what is the most obvious for me that I don't even think that I have to say because it's so obvious is not always obvious for everyone. It's sometimes the truth is elusive. It's covered up with so many things on top of it. Things that we close off in these little boxes in our mind and refuse to think about, and it's closed off behind many, many doors, the absolute truth. And in order to see the absolute truth within yourself, you have to work through these doors, which are errors in thought, which each one individually not only is difficult to even see because it's like the obvious. It's the thing that I didn't even say because it's the obvious. So you have to search for the obvious, which is elusive because you don't even know that it's there. It's so obvious that your mind does an automatic on it. And so these are the kinds of lessons that we learn working with our twins. See how far in that is, how far in what does my twin say, the rabbit hole? He says it's that far, how far are you willing to go down the rabbit hole? And the rabbit hole hits end at truth and patterns of the universe, the absolute truth. The absolute truth is not good nor bad, it's just truth. The good and bad is all the things that we attach. And usually what do we attach them to? Not good or bad for the big being, because everything, it's good or bad for me. And sometimes we're so far out of whack on that one that we don't even see straight. We don't even see the truth, that we don't even see that we're seeing it from a selfish point of view. And it's not anyone's fault. There's no shame in that. That is kind of programming that we got. And it's one of the most difficult things. The patterns of thinking are one of the most difficult things there are to overcome. Well, they are the difficult thing to overcome. Because once you overcome, you know, not overcome patterns of thinking, because you're going to have patterns of thinking. But when you're able to rise above it and look at the things, actually, when you free your mind from all of these automatics, then you do have, you work within the patterns of the universe, but you have freedom of thought. Then you can see everything just flat as it is and with nothing attached to it, and then you can make it into whatever you want, because when you control your mind, you can take a truth and you can take it in any direction that you want. You become the master of your domain and the master of your mind and the master of your own emotions too. See, these are the kind of rabbit holes I get into with my twin flame. And that is just off of a really simple conversation that we had. And when he asked me, asked, when he asked me, you know what he says? He says that he sees us like sister and brother. You see that the crap, and I love him. It doesn't matter. I love him as a person. He's just such a neat person, and I like seeing him fly. And I even, you know what's really funny, and I'm really proud of myself, is that I see women hitting on him, and it amuses me. It amuses me because he's always got the funkiest thing to say, and I know how complex his mind is. It's like way out there. I, I it takes a while to get to know him and to gain his trust. It takes a while. I just think it's funny. I just think it's funny. Especially when I see women hitting on him that I know that he'd never go for. Okay, that's not nice. But it's true. It amuses me because you never know what he's going to say or do. He says the funkiest things. And he does, yeah, he's always makeshifting all sorts of little trinkets and stuff and figuring out how stuff works. And he's interested in all sorts of complex things that give him that, um, like, what's the word where he has to try, like, that he has to give effort to try to figure out. He likes trying to figure stuff out. He's so funny. He's so cute. I say to him, yesterday I was laying it on thick. I was laying it on thick. I'm going to end this here. I'm going to start a new video about laying it on thick.